Toronto Stevie live. It is Tuesday night. I have a feeling that Jackie Jones will not be on In Your Head Wrestling Radio tonight. So I am doing Toronto Stevie live wrestling. I know at this very moment there is a blue wave going through the United States of America as a lot of election results come in. Apparently, Zoran Mandani has won the New York City mayor's race. Um, Mikey Sherrill has won the New Jersey governor's race. Shout out to Lexar in New Jersey and my cousin Adam in New Jersey. But I thought I would do a Toronto Stevie live, um, looking at the results of Saturday night's main event and Monday Night Raw. Give you the Raw report for a very good reason. CM Punk. Yes, we'll get to CM Punk. But first, we'll do Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event, November the 1st. The show kicks off with Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. I don't know. I guess Cody is the successor to John Cena. It seems like everything he touches turns to gold. And once again, Cody, there was a stipulation that if Cody got disqualified or counted out, the title would change hands. But that didn't matter because Cody defeated Drew McIntyre by pinfall, once again retaining the title. There was a story online that maybe the fans were turning on Cody Rhodes, but I didn't notice this in the match. And where does Drew McIntyre go from here? He's tried like 3 times to defeat Cody Rhodes, and each time Cody Rhodes has beat him. So maybe he goes back to Raw and challenges the new world champion. Although I think that maybe that's what Drew does. The next match, Tiffany Stratton defends WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. There was a story online that Tiffany Stratton was interested in taking some time off. I don't know if this is true or not. But nonetheless, Jade Cargill uses the jaded move to pin Tiffany Stratton and just dominate and squash Tiffany and become the new champion. Now, I was a little confused by this one. I know that WWE probably signed Jade, and all along the plan was to make her the world champion. But like, she's at times, I think the reason that she was put into that tag team with Bianca Belair was so that she could transition easily into the WWE style, but she's still a little limited, and I don't know if this was premature to put the title on her at this point. Maybe she needed still some more seasoning. She probably should have done more work at NXT first before going to the main roster. But nonetheless, WWE has pulled the trigger on put a belt on her. So now we'll see what happens and whether Bianca Belair comes back and feuds with her, or Tiffany gets a rematch, or there's still Nia Jax. What happens there on SmackDown? But nonetheless, Jade Cargill is your new WWE Women's Champion. The next match was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. Dominic Mysterio defending the title against Penta and Rusev. Once again, Rusev, I was predicting eventually that Rusev was probably going to win a belt, but it certainly seems that, again, there's a guy who needs a fresh coat of paint. Maybe he needs to go to SmackDown and dominate there because, once again, Dirty Dom retains the Intercontinental title. Um, Penta, it looked like Penta, he's fantastic Penta Destroyer move, but nonetheless, Dirty Dom pulled out a victory. And in the main event of Saturday night's main event, singles match for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Finally, 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 WWE did the right thing, made the right move. CM Punk, after several go to sleeps, finally puts down Jey Uso, pins him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, and he wins the World Heavyweight title. I was so happy when the show went off the air that there was no funny business going on, that CM Punk, after 2 years in the WWE, CM Punk is your World Heavyweight Champion. It was just something I've been waiting to see happen. I'm so glad it finally happened, because I've been waiting a long time for Punk to win the title. Nonetheless, the following Monday Night Raw, let's get to the Monday Night Raw report. They were in New Mexico, Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Joe Tess and Wade Barrett. And actually, now there was another story online that this opening segment went like 10 minutes too long. It was CM Punk doing a victory lap, coming out, getting the crowd reaction that I kind of thought he long deserved, taking a victory lap, giving a speech, and he begins it with saying, isn't it great to be the champ on Monday Night Raw in the great state of New Mexico, or what? The crowd popped for Punk, and Punk gave his speech. There was a litany of people that he wanted to thank for getting him to where he is today. The fans gave him the "You Deserve It" chants. He immediately starts with his wife, AJ Lee. Thank you, babe, for always standing next to me in the bad times. And we can stand next to each other, chefs puffed out, and enjoy the good times. Then, of course, he made a reference to her. He made a reference to those damn good tight jeans, or jean shorts, or hers, whatever. My God. Anyway, he thanks the WWE Universe. And then a third person he wants to thank is Jey Uso. So I thought at some point Jey Uso was going to turn heel. There was another story online that maybe Jey Uso might leave WWE when his current contract expires. I don't know. He's a member of the family, so I don't know whether that has any credence whatsoever. But nonetheless, he thanks Jey Uso, and he says, 2 years ago, he said, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money." Once again, he makes a reference to that. But he said, he was talking about SummerSlam taught him something. He held the title for 3 minutes after he beat Gunther, but then there was Seth Rollins, but there's no Seth Rollins to take that away from him. He hasn't got a briefcase to take the belt away from him, and he called winning the title vindication. So Punk, then he finally makes a reference to the Vision. There's already a line forming with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. He also talks about Paul Heyman. He makes a reference to AJ Styles, about people who deserve it. He mentions JD McDonough, says he'd like to wrestle JD McDonough. he'd like to wrestle Sheamus. And then he finally says, he holds up the belt, and he mentions John Cena and says, the champ is here. So you never know. I'm still holding out hope that CM Punk and John Cena will still have a match before John Cena retires, but the time is running short. And that's when Logan Paul's music hits, and Logan Paul comes down to the ring. Now, you may recall a few months ago, Punk and Paul did have a showdown on Raw. I think I mentioned it in one of the Raw reports. But Logan Paul actually is stepping up. And Punk does note that, wait, this is the guy from SmackDown. And mentions Ilya Dragunov's open challenge. But Logan Paul wants to challenge CM Punk for the title. And that's when Paul Heyman and the Braun Brawns come to walk down to the ring. And Heyman calls Logan Paul Mr. YouTube and basically sends the Braun Brawns down to the ring. And Punk is just... Punk basically says to Logan Paul, I think, or maybe Paul Heyman had something to say first, but then Punk just says to Logan Paul, either you fight with me or you get out of my ring. And Logan Paul actually did take a powder at first, and that left Punk and to fight the Braun Brawns all by himself. But then Logan Paul came into the ring, and the Braun Brawns actually attacked Logan Paul. And before you know it, Bronson Reed gave the salami splash to Logan Paul, and they left them laying. And that was, I believe, that was how the segment ended. So then come back to the next segment, and this went on for a good 20 minutes, maybe more than 20 minutes, before we come back, and it was like maybe it might have even been 30 minutes by the time the opening match of the night started. Tag team match: Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella took on Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Once again, Nikki Bella looking fine in those black shorts of hers. Stephanie Vaquer looking pretty good herself in her outfit. But it was once again, it was the heels who won the match. And once again, it was Nikki Bella taking the pinfall from Roxanne Perez, the Pop Rocks, and so I guess Raquel Rodriguez has taken out Stephanie Vaquer. She was outside the ring. Inside the ring, Roxanne Perez hit the Pop Rocks and pinned Nikki Bella, rolled her up. It was a roll up. Yeah, no, it was Pop Rocks. Okay, so the Judgment Day celebrated in the ring. There was a video on Saturday night's main event, basically announcing that John Cena announced some sort of tournament to determine who his final opponent is going to be on the December Saturday night's main event. We go to Adam Pearce's office, and they're again. Adam Pearce is promoting that eventually they're going to announce the tournament, who's going to start the tournament. There was a backstage segment with Jey Uso and CM Punk, basically announcing that they're going to be in the main event against the Braun Brawns. Back into the next match, it's El Grande Americano taking on Penta. And El Grande Americano has the two other Americanos with him, Bravo and Rayo. And I think this This one had one of the Americanos passing the loaded piece of metal, and El Grande Americano put it into his mask. But Penta was able to actually beat down everybody. He beat down the Rayo and Bravo, and then he hit a Mexican destroyer on El Grande Americano and pinned him 1, 2, 3. And Penta actually came out the winner of the match. So then there was a video of the Kabuki Warriors speaking Japanese, coming back from the commercial break. Dirty Dom. So Dirty Dom is in the ring cutting a promo, celebrating. He's got both of his belts, and he celebrates how he defeated Penta and Rusev, and he wonders what's next, and he declares himself the greatest luchador of all time. When making his return to the WWE was none other than Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio comes down to the ring, and once again they're dialing this one back, father versus son, and Rey and Dom have a back and forth, and I think this one ended with Rey hitting Dom with a 619. The crowd was really into Rey, welcoming him back. Rey went to the out. I guess he was going to do some sort of move, maybe a senton or something, but Dominic ran out of the ring. So when Dom's in the ring against the likes of Rusev and Penta, the crowd's really into him. They're really cheering him. But when he's in the ring against Rey Mysterio, the crowd's cheering Rey and they're booing Dom. So we go back to Adam Pearce's office, and they brought out the old tumbler to determine who the last time is now tournament starts. We get a backstage segment with Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. How they're going to they need to focus on the Kabuki Warriors. Back in the arena, that's when Joe Tess and Wade Barrett are interrupted by Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch jumps onto the announce table. She's got a microphone, and she cuts a promo on the man has come around, but she's got a lot to get off her chest. She's been going through a lot in the last few weeks. She's got her hot husband who's injured at home, and she says that the Vision have lost their minds and ruined everything. And then she talks about, she puts down New Mexico and then cuts a promo on Maxine Dupree. So I still don't know. Maxine wasn't even on the show this week, so I don't know when that match is going to start taking place. I thought it was going to be on Saturday night's main event, but I guess they're going to stretch it out a bit further. So next, after the commercial break, the Kabuki Warriors take on Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This one went through a commercial break, but it was the Kabuki Warriors getting the victory. And I'm still waiting and wondering if Bayley is going to turn on Lyra Valkyria. But it was the heels who got the win. When it was, and after the match, that's when Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair hit the ring. So it certainly looks like the next tag team title match for the women's titles. There's your matchup. Could be Survivor Series, could be that Saturday night's main event, but that certainly looks like that's the next tag team match. Who knows when that's going to take place. There's a Judgment Day Clubhouse segment. Dirty Dom is complaining to the other guys about, where were you guys? And Finn Balor and JD McDonough were saying, no, we've got a tag team title match. We got a concern. Yeah, just this inner strife. And we see it every week, actually, when you think about it. So next we get a tag team title rematch. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defending the titles against Finn Balor and JD McDonough. I always like watching AJ and Finn Balor whenever there is a singles match, tag team match. But it was AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. AJ hit the phenomenal forearm and a Styles clash. Styles clash on JD McDonough. I like the fact that that's come back as a finisher. And I remember JD was jumping in the air. He got caught by AJ and got pinned. Styles clash and pinned. So the tag team titles stay with the champions. You get a backstage segment with Stephanie Becker and Nikki Bella. Um, and then a locker room segment with Jey Uso. And Paul Heyman just comes in and starts talking to him. Paul Heyman saying, I thought you were my favorite member of the Bloodline. And he cuts a promo with Jey Uso. You get Adam Pearce. So I think this is where Adam Pearce made the announcement saying that Rusev will battle Damian Priest in the Last Time Is Now tournament, first round. And Shinsuke Nakamura will battle Sheamus in the first round as well. And that he makes an announcement that Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager, will announce the next two matches on SmackDown. They do a next week on Raw segment saying John Cena will appear in Boston for the final time. The Last Time Is Now tournament matches will take place. The Kabuki Warriors will take on Alexa Bliss and WWE and Charlotte Flair for the tag team titles. And Stephanie Becker will take on Raquel Rodriguez. And she'll put the women's title on the line. Next, we get the tag team main event. It's main event Jey Uso and CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Champion, taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And Jey Uso takes forever to get down to the ring. I'm kind of getting tired of Jey Uso and his entrances. I don't care how popular Jey Uso is. I'm just tired of this. Coming back from the commercial break, CM Punk comes down to the ring. Heels come down the ring. And this one actually ended in a double count out. I wasn't all that surprised that the match ended in the double count out because, like way back in the old Saturday Night's main event days, or when you had top baby faces and heels and you didn't want them to lose, things like disqualifications and double count outs and screw job finishes and schmozzes were commonplace. So this one made all the sense in the world that it would be a double count out. They were brawling at ringside, ignored the referee's count. But what the story was what happened after the match. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were beating up the baby faces one by one. When finally CM Punk grabbed a chair and came back into the ring with the chair, that's when Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed took a powder and they got their own chairs and came back into the ring. So you had 1 against 2. Everybody had chairs, and that's when Logan Paul returned. Logan Paul put the brass knuckles back on his hand, and it certainly looked like they were going to team up, he and CM Punk. But that's when Logan Paul, once again, he turns on CM Punk, and he just hits CM Punk with the brass knuckles right in the face, knocks him out. And then he goes over to the Vision, to Paul Heyman. He takes the brass knuckles off his fingers and he gives them to Paul Heyman as the show goes off the air. And that was Monday Night Raw. It was okay. I mean, they told a lot of stories. I mean, apparently, Paul Heyman, Triple H is a story guy. There was another story online about how Triple H, is a guy telling stories. So that was the main thing. It certainly looks like now that CM Punk will defend his title against Logan Paul. Again, could be Survivor Series, could be Saturday night's main event. The next one. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But nonetheless, I guess I have to give this one a thumbs up. Once again, CM Punk. I'm glad that CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion. Um, I've been waiting a long time for Punk to win that belt. 2 years. He's now the champion. Um, I don't know how long he's going to hold that title. Um, really, I thought that the whole storyline was supposed to be Punk versus Rollins, with Punk winning the title from Rollins. But since Rollins got injured legitimately this time, they had to scramble and change the whole thing. Um, what happens to Jey Uso? Does he turn heel? Does he go to SmackDown? Does he even stay in WWE? A lot of unanswered questions there, but I'm kind of looking forward to this. It kind of reinvigorated my interest in watching wrestling in WWE with Punk as champion. And so we'll see heading into, I guess, Saturday night's main event. And who is John Cena going to face as his final match? Who's going to win this tournament? Um, Actually, the initial four people that are entered, I don't think none of these four. As much as I'd like to see Rusev and John Cena battle one more time, I don't think Rusev is. Um, I don't think it's going to be Rusev who wins the tournament. Maybe it could be Brock Lesnar. Who knows? Or it could be Randy Orton. Maybe even Punk. Maybe Punk enters the tournament. That would be something. But nonetheless, I understand that the election night in America, there's the Americans are there's a blue wave. A lot of Democrats are winning tonight, so I'll get off here and thank you very much. I did not surprised that there's no one watching right now, but like and subscribe if you like what you see. Like and subscribe and leave a comment. And Toronto Stevie Alive saying good night and bye bye everybody.